Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Welcome to another ES Futures trading stream. Today is Monday, September 8th. It is 10:10 a.m. Eastern Time in the US. We are starting the week with a market making all-time highs last week. These are the bar charts from ES. Check it out what's happening here. Now we have a tremendous rally for the year, a spectacular comeback. The market has made maybe 6% year over year. This is last year high, and we are above that for about that amount, which is an average return for the S&P. All right. Now the next thing. Now this market is trending higher in the bigger time frame. The intermediate or the weekly has or can see, you can see a trend line here, kind of like losing a little bit of steam here in a range. You can duplicate this. You can see what's happening where this market is selling from. Very mechanic way to sell, as you can see here. Uh-oh, what happened here? And this is not a good indication for anything, but notice how here I'm going to, yeah, right. Notice there's not what I want to call it. Notice, where's my draw? Oh, okay. Here. Just let's do this. Let's take a look at this. Oh, let's do it again. I got a line there that I don't like it. All right. This is a bull market, right? Last year high, and this is 5%, so this could be maybe 5.5 or 6%, something like that. And this is the trend line that I was talking about. Are selling from that line, which is not a good indication, right, for a solid selling from this way of selling. Usually it's not that good, but I'm not saying that it cannot be sold for here. But the thing that I have noticed here in this market is notice in the weekly time frame how we have two distributions here, two ranges, right? We have one range here and one range here. And when you draw this, you will have something kind of like this, right? Something like this. Now, one trade that comes from this, we see multiple times, so the market makes a take this range. Usually, if this doesn't have upside continuation, next thing market try is the opposite side of this. It can be this, or it can be the whole thing here. And then from here, two things can happen. Can try to reach the opposite side again. You can try to break out, and which would put the same trade now down below. And the same dynamics here. Coming back in here, rejection or acceptance that will trigger for the selling towards the opposite side of this. That's just part of the dynamics of the market. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that's a well-known trade. Now, the daily has multiple things here. This is one of the levels that I'm monitoring here. This was a previous all-time high. Now we have an all-time high. Now the excess, notice how this range here at the bottom, but come on, this range, right? This range here is this one, right? Reaches the opposite side, comes back, breakout, fake out. I don't know if this is going to be a fake out here, but if this has acceptance below, we may say this market targeting this the opposite side. Now, if you check the lower side, it's coming from the 50s. It has multiple lows here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, around the same area. You know, I would say the 63.50 or 70 could be something here, right? But before getting to this, the 50 will be in the way if that's something that happens. Now, notice this trend line here. It was a very weak way to sell. You know, this one here. This selling is the same that we have here. Now this, but this isn't a weekly time frame. This was a daily. Dailies are the weakest of the all three. I say from here, and now the opposite may be happening now. Look at this, selling from this line, selling from this one. What this day is going to look like, I have no idea. Right? I have no idea. To do or to talk more about this, I need to go to market profiles. What do I see here? One of the things that I see, and I think this is a very important reference here. This is going to be a very important reference. Let's do pink. No, I don't like pink. Let's do white. No, let's keep it white, but let's make it look different. Oh, that's not that. What is alternate? Huh, I don't like that. That's that. Okay, that looks better. 3, 2. Okay, this is an important reference. The distribution, the lower side of this distribution in here. If the market closes this distribution, there may be potentially either market targeting this all-time high, but we have nice excess here, really nice excess in the upper side. Value was built in the lower side of the range. Value was overlapping lower here on Friday. And we have a very prominent overnight POC. You can see this line in the overnight. Very prominent overnight POC here. Okay, this though did not have downside continuation on Friday. It didn't have a downside extension. I was playing something here to the maybe a potential second leg after the market formed or was started to form these lows, right? Having in consideration what happened here during this day, because I thought at the time that this was the trade, really, really. This is where everything started. Right? You never know how it's going to develop. There are never 2 days that are the same in the market, right? But once the market reach it or take these highs out and have sharp upside, I consider that trade done. All right, well, that was over. The next thing we know, and we always talk about this, right, is that what once was used to sell, it is not rare, right, to see the same kind or the same type of traders now doing the opposite, right? Using the same reference, the same area that was used to sell, this time could be used to buy, right? But the next thing is, so far, it didn't have success. Right? It is not having upside. One of the things that I also we're talking here on Friday is about how strong or how big these closings were. The closing of this day, the closing of this day as well. Notice how this low is very questionable. It's very questionable. Notice what happened here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 lows, and then those lows are taken because there's a bunch of stops down here. But if there is going to be something serious to the downside, the next thing I will see is the market trading in the direction of this spike. It didn't happen. A similar thing can happen down here. Right? I don't know the time frame. Next thing, we have non-excess here, and it's a very questionable low. Now, this contract is pretty much entering. It's about to enter the rollover period. During the rollover period, the rollover, the final happens. It is actually next week when we'll be seeing increased volumes in December contract. But some positioning starts to happen now. May start happening now. Right? I don't know if these lows are going to be corrected. Having these strong closings, look, with a lot of absorption at the highs, this is also, it's not guarantee. It's not a warranty for nothing. Right? Anything can happen. And I'm not going to do anything until I see something. One of the things that I have learned hard way, as everything, right? Is, take your time. Take your time, and this is personal. I rather don't trade right? The rollover period, or the wick that heads towards the rollover period and the rollover period wick itself. Really, I don't have that skill. My record is really bad for those days, and I rather sit down and watch the market. The main trade, as I say, what the heck happened here? Uh-oh. Okay. The main thing for me, oh boy, I get lost. I got lost here. Oh, okay, let's open this. The idea will come. Oh, okay. The main thing for me is this trade, right? It took a whole week to develop. A whole week to develop. I don't have anything now, right? And I'm not ashamed to say I don't have anything. I'm not doing anything. There's good odds that I'm not going to be doing anything during this upcoming 2 weeks, right? This week and probably next one as well. I will start to watch December, maybe sometime during this week. But for now, I will just keep these charts. Notice how this market has opened inside Friday's profile. We have a 2-day range. One of the things that did not happen last Friday, is that the market had the chance to print an outside day. It had a chance. Yeah, it had a chance. And that happened when the market checks the upper side of the previous day and trades towards and below the lower side of that day. And not just that, what makes the outside bar an outside bar is that it closes. Right? It closes below the low. Okay? That's the main thing. What happened is that this didn't happen. And this has been a constant in this market for the last year and a half. Right? When this happened, the strength, right, is almost, I can say this is almost, it's very, I wouldn't say very obvious. I think that's too much, but at least obvious, right, that the market has a strength. I did not observe that last week. To close last week, I did not observe that because the market, and here we go to the profiles again. Right? This market had the chance to chew into this single prince area. It didn't do it. It just didn't do it. It has constant selling from a mechanical level, taken down, and then close with a kind of rally, right? Now, what may happen now, I'm not saying that this will happen. This is because this is something that you observe. You observe this multiple times, right? It's the build. Right now you have this profile. I start building value in this area. Kind of like a fill in this void, right? Fill in this void. Right now, the overnight looks like short covering, but it has lower volume. 100,000 is really low. In like 20, 30 periods. Now, this market has 200,000, and it's just the second period hasn't even ended yet, or it's just ending now. That's why there's not too much significance for the overnight. And these kind of POCs have a tendency to attack the market back and forth. It's a very prominent POC. And the fact that it's opening inside this range, also is an advertising for job. You know? High also rotation. I mean, it is not just Friday's range, but it's also a 2-day range here. Notice how, as we speak, we are getting zoom in into the market more and more and more, right? And as we zoom into the market, we start to see more things. But the bigger picture is something that we need to keep in our minds. And that's why it's very important to check the bigger time frames. Because if we don't do that, we just get lost in price. All right? Now we have this. The odds are that one of the things that this void can be filled. Right now, value, as you can see, value is higher, right? Obviously higher. This is Friday's. This is today's. It doesn't have a good high. This is not settled. This is Thursday settled. Let me check where Friday settled is. Settle is 64.89.50. 64. Oh, way down here. Let's check that out. 64.89.50, right there. This is where settle is. Last is 64.88.50. So 1.8 is the same basically. Okay. This high is no good. Notice the action. We have, let me bring this to your attention. Okay. And this is all part of the observation process. And this is part of trading. What I'm doing here is trading. Right? This is part of the observation of the trading is observation. Okay. Just a second. I need to bring something here. Notice how high volume is relative to Friday. Okay, so have increased the volume actually, right? That's one thing. Do we have direction? We don't have directional move. Market is inside Friday's range, so there's nothing here yet. Okay, that's something important. What's happening? For example, I'm interested to see all the other markets. What's happening to the bond market? Oh, this is good. This is rallying higher, which means rates are going lower, which is actually not unbelievable. This is not something good, right? Lower rates are unlikely to attract buyers. If that happens, the Fed may be, but this is a very complicated thing. Okay. Notice this trade in crude, right? How this market has reached the opposite side of this range, and now it didn't break out. Right? That's coming back inside this range, just fill the gap, potentially targeting the opposite side. Notice how this high is coming from the 50s. Dollar is weakening again. It has both sides weak. The low side is weak. The high is also weak. and gold keeps rallying. Right? Yeah, I think this is one of the things that can be called as self-fulfilled prophecies. Market, everybody's talking about gold reaching the 5,000. The next thing we know, gold reaches 5,000. What else? What else? I was going to check what's going in the other markets, the other indices. Nasdaq is very close to the upper side of the range. The ES is at the center. Russell is kind of like on the lower side. It's taking this range out. I mean, the Russell is the one that has higher odds of rotation. What is this? This is the Dow. It's adding. Okay, this is adding value to the lower side of this range here. So if this doesn't have any kind of resolution to the downside, the next thing we might see is some upside towards this high, right? And if that happens, this one can drag the ES as well. Now let's check the bigger time frame. We know we have checked the ES. Let's see, Nasdaq. Oh, look at this Nasdaq, man. This both sides. This has excess here. It's about to take this high out, right? Which is Friday's actually. Wonder if you can take the high. 500 points between this one and this. This has a really nice excess here. Traded to the opposite side, didn't quite reach the opposite side here. It rather form an upper range, so kind of like a stepping here, stepping higher. Forming a range, you know. But this has no conviction. It's kind of like this rally is getting old. What's going on with the Dow here? The Dow is the index that has, I think, the better odds to have some upside. Still, the low is not that good. Check this out. I'm going to put a trend here from here to there. Alright, that's not good. If I extend this to the left, look at what we have. You know, that's very questionable for me. What about Russell? Russell is kind of, it doesn't have too much impact, right? In what the other ones do. It has good high. It also has a good high. I would say from the three, the Russell is the weakest. Right? Now let's go back to the intraday as well. All them are, you know, and this is the thing. All these indices are inside previous range and with good odds of rotation. If Nasdaq, which is the one that has better odds of making or taking previously high, if the Nasdaq takes this high and does not drag the other indices, which is something that I mean, this is really hard, right? That one can pull the other ones, but it can happen. I don't have anything, man. I don't have anything for this day. I got to be very cautious or very conscious about that, right? Acknowledging, which is what I'm doing. I acknowledge that the odds that something happened today are very low, and I don't have to trade, right? I don't have to actively have or hold a position, because what I am doing now is trading. Right? I'm doing what's this part of the cycle I am in right now. I am inside the observation phase. Right? I have to absorb the information the market is giving me. I have to become what the market he's becoming, right? And try to get rid of any bias I may have. Next thing, if I see something, I will start to plan. I start to plan a trade and execute as the next step. Once I execute, I have get into the performance part of the business, which is when I have to actively monitor my trade, right? Adjust my position to finally enter the closing. Right? Once I close, I have to reset myself and start the cycle all over again. You know, refill mental capital and do everything again. I don't have anything. I don't see anything. Coming into this week, I was just thinking to myself about this scenario, okay? That I think that there will be a couple days, maybe more, in which the market can trade in any direction, either higher or lower or sideways, but potentially building something. What it is, I have no idea. I have no idea. But I have to be open. You know, I have to have an open mind so I can observe those things. I am not in the urge of have any trade here. Really, I don't have anything here. I don't have to have anything. And that's what this business is. This is how this business works. Okay. What is the? Oh, this is the. Look at this. Look at the Nasdaq here. Nasdaq actually is the one that may have something here. This looks like short covering, long liquidation, short covering. Nasdaq is very close to make or to take this high out. What are the news for this week or schedule for this new week? Today we don't have anything. Short actions tomorrow. PPI on Wednesday. And the most important, I think, looks like it's CPI, right? And the weekly jobless on Thursday. Oh, there's going to be something. Okay. I think there can be something here, man. All right, we have CPI on Thursday. Okay. Some volatility may come, and this one as well, may come to the market. The outlook is not good, but the economic outlook is not good. But markets do their thing, right? It doesn't matter. I am not going to short the market just because the economic outlook is not good. That's what I'm trying to say. Something that may be in the way of whatever development we may have from Thursday is this number here. It doesn't seem to having good impact or be a great impact, but when we have, let's say we have an upside or we have a downside, this number may retrace something of this. Now, may retrace something, maybe, and even trace sideways, trying to push higher or trying to push lower, you know. And after a while, you know, whatever was meant to happen during this day, it just continues doing. That's an A scenario here for Friday. These kind of A scenarios, I am always trying to plan or to visualize, to imagine what can happen, right? Just to be prepared, just not to get caught by any bias, which is something really hard actually, because bias, we are built, you know, we are a species that has survived because of our biases, right? All right, guys. Be very careful with this low here. This one as well. This is what markets do. I can make you quickly forget about this kind of developments from last week just because market is going higher here. Okay, the next thing here, as the market keeps going higher, we have this resistance area here. There was big volume in this area on Thursday, and I believe this is gaining relevance here. This is going to be very important. Seems that it's going to be of relevance, closing this distribution out here. If the market closes this distribution, the next thing I will observe is how it behaves towards this high here. Okay. What it does, it shouldn't have any problem if this is a strong market to going through here and of course challenging the all-time high. If nothing happens here, something may come out of that. But these resolutions, remember we have CPI on Thursday. We still have 3 more days for Thursday, and that's the main that's the main thing for me. You know, the markets are always looking forward, and that can be the focus of the market now. CPI, and anything that happened here can be related to what the news of those days can be. Okay, I'm not going to calling it a day, unless you have any questions or comments. Any questions that you may have, just you can see it. You can check this on YouTube as well. I got all Twitch stored these videos just for a couple of days, maybe 7. They delete these videos after 7 days, but in YouTube they stay forever. If you have any questions. Alright guys, have a wonderful day. Wonderful rest of the day. Stay safe. See you another day. Bye bye.